of mine, I'll find someone like you. I wish nothing but the best for you too. Don't forget me. I think I remember you said sometimes it hurts instead. Yo, what's up, y'all? Welcome back to the No Chaser podcast. I'm Tim Chantarangsu.
I'm Adele. I'm Ricky Shucks.
And I'm Nikki Blades.
Oh, man. How y'all? I fed you guys some healthy salads for lunch. How you feeling?
Healthy.
Feeling good.
Yeah.
Got to poop a little bit.
Little bit?
It's a little
Got a
potty break.
little steak, little poop in our system, ready to go.
Side note, thank you for sending out a schedule this week and scheduling in a lunch break. I was thoroughly impressed by your message.
Well, normally we start at like 1 p.m. and I tell y'all, make sure you eat breakfast because we're not getting food. So eat something.
Other side note, with this outfit, you look a lot like two people that we know.
Who?
Old dumbfounded. not old as in older, old like as in the past.
Yeah.
And Wally.
Wally?
Yeah, the glasses.
Oh my God.
No,
not the robot.
Not Disney Wally.
Because I looked at you, I was like, maybe the robot.
Our homie
The
Wally. Shout out to Wally.
Entrepreneur extraordinaire.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Speaking of entrepreneurs, let's get right into it.
Let's get into it.
So I got a special guest. I told y'all I like having friends on the show that I've known for a long time. This guest I have not known for a long time, but we've met each other a couple times in passing at events. He's a staple in I would say the jewelry crowd.
Definitely.
He's well known in the hip hop community.
You know it.
He's been doing this thing for a long time in many different ways.
But he's not old.
But he is not old. I mean, I don't think so. You know Asians, you can't tell, man. So, welcome to the show, Ben Baller.
Yeah!
What's good?
Yeah.
What's good?
What's
good?
up,
Hello.
Where these headphones at?
Oh, they in there.
Okay, here we go.
Are we here? There we go.
These sanitized, bro?
I hope so.
Oh, yeah, they've been wiping everything
That
down.
one's warm, actually.
No, I'm saying which one is right, which one is left.
Oh, left is with
There
the
we
cord.
go.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
For sure.
All right, here we go.
You good?
Hold on.
And then that's
There we
you.
go. Yeah.
What's good, man?
Bro, just maxing. What a beautiful day today, man.
It's a beautiful day. I appreciate you coming through to my podcast, dog. Joining us for a little conversation.
Yeah, man. You guys got to definitely, whatever. One of y'all got to jump on my show for sure.
Yeah, I'm down, bro. I'm down. I mean, this is our first conversation, I feel.
Like an actual
Like
one.
an actual
Yeah.
conversation.
Not small talk at an event or something.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I've only ever met you at that one event. It was that Crooks and Castles event, right?
I don't know
That
what it
a
was
while
for.
ago.
Hmm?
I said that was a while ago.
That was
yeah.
a while ago. Yeah. Something like that.
I'm still in touch with them dudes, real heavy with them. But I mean, yeah, it might have been a Crooks event. I'm not positive.
Possibly. Well, shit, man. First of all, let's talk about how this even came to be because I think it's funny. Somebody tagged me on Twitter. They were like, "Yo, Tim, you listen to that new Ben Baller podcast?" I was like, "Nah, why?" They were like, "He was kind of talking shit about you, bro." I was like, "LOL, what'd he say?" He was like, "Said you wasn't funny," and
I definitely wasn't talking shit, but go ahead.
he was like, "Nah, Ben Baller was just talking about you." I was like, "What did he say?" And then Ben hopped in immediately. He was like, "Look, man, here's what I said, bro. I said when I met you, didn't think you were funny, and also I don't know what you do." And I was like,
Oh, so he said it to you. Okay, I respect that.
Yeah. He was like, "Well, look, here's what I said." And I
Out
was
of
like,
respect, you know what I'm saying? Like,
"Yeah, no, I got you." Because
we got mutual friends.
Well, like you said, it wasn't a shit talking situation.
No.
It was and I've been in a similar situation. I've been in a similar situation where I was asked in the past, "What do you think of this person's content?" And I was like, "Oh, I don't think it's funny." And people spun that into a beef situation. You know what I'm saying? And like, it is what it is. And first of all, why would I be funny when I meet you, dog? That's just silly.
Tell you the truth though, I think people don't realize that. One, being that I've lived through so many different just eras, generations, different types of comedy to everything. I've consistently been a troll for the last few decades, right?
Oh, I know.
Yeah. So you know that. So like when Fousey is on my show, and he's trying to give like so much praise to you, right? I'm like, bro, there's way too much positivity in this, right? I gotta break this up. Like, so I was like,
I feel that and you know what? Context is important.
it is.
And I also do a lot of that where if someone's bigging someone up, I'll be like, nah, they're stupid, right?
Yeah,
Just throw it in.
yeah.
Equal, whatever. So I get it. That's why, but that's what sparked the conversation of us just coming on each other's podcasts.
No, for sure.
But speaking of you trolling, there's always something I wanted to ask you, right? Because like I want to say a couple years, I would randomly get a random ass shit talking Instagram comment from Ben Baller on my Instagram. And I would look and I'm like, this fool don't even follow me. But it would be a post where he would just be like, whack. or something.
I just mess with you, bro. I guess the degree of separation between us is I've known Nick forever, Cannon, right? Never watched an episode of Wild 'N Out my entire life, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't a big I think the MTV thing stopped me like maybe in 2003. So it's fucking 18 years ago, right? But the show, I don't know when the show started. Me and Nick have always been cool. But every time I'm around Nick's not really like a jokey person in like behind closed doors, right? So for some reason, Nick can't get into his Instagram account. And this is fairly like new. Instagram's maybe 2-3 years old. Facebook just opened a pop-up shop right down the street from here. So to show some love, they're verifying both of our accounts very early in the game.
If there's ever been a year to make the moms in your life feel loved and appreciated on Mother's Day, it's this one. My mom, she's retired. She's lived a great life, but she's tired. She's retired and she's tired. That's why I'm honoring my mom with a heartfelt, sentimental gift the whole family can cherish together forever. Storyworth! Storyworth is an online service that helps your mom, grandmother, mother-in-law, and every other mother figure in your life share stories through thought-provoking questions about their memories and personal thoughts. It's a fun new way to engage with them, especially if you can't be together in person, all right? Every week, Storyworth emails your mom a different story prompt question you've never thought to ask, like, what is some of the best advice your mother ever gave you? And if you could choose any talents to have, what would they be? Now, how adorable is that, okay? Storyworth has helped numerous families learn about each other in profound, special ways, and their testimonials will practically move you to tears. In fact, Storyworth has already created a powerful experience for me. Because, sometimes me and my mom, we have trouble communicating, you know what I'm saying? My tie is not great. But with these questions from Storyworth, it helps push the conversation along. You know what I'm saying? There's no shortage of surprises when reading the weekly stories, and they make your family feel close even if you're not together, all right? After 1 year, Storyworth will compile all your mom's stories, including photos, into a beautiful keepsake book that's shipped for free. Now, come on, that's just great. Give your mom the most meaningful gift this Mother's Day with Storyworth. Get started right away with no shipping required by going to storyworth.com/nochaser. You'll get $10 off your first purchase. That's storyworth.com/nochaser for $10 off. Everyone needs an escape, but those can be hard to come by right now. Enter Dipsy. Let yourself get lost in a world where good things happen and where your pleasure is the only priority. Now, we all know the story of boy meets girl, but what about girl meets girl? Or maybe boy meets girl and they meet another girl. Threesome. With Dipsy, the stories continue beyond the initial meetup. Come hear what happens behind closed doors. Eat the booty. Dipsy is an audio app full of short, sexy stories designed to turn you on. Each Dipsy audio story features characters that feel like real people and immersive scenarios, so you feel like you're right there in the action, getting your booty ate. Listen to stories about hooking up with your hometown crush you never made a move on, or that coworker you always had a little thing for. Or maybe a story that puts you in bed with someone who's telling you exactly what they'd like to do to you. They release new content every week, so there's always more to explore, no matter who you're into or what turns you on. And if you need to wind down, Dipsy also has wellness sessions, sensual bedtime stories, and soundscapes to help you relax before you drift off, or jack off, or get off. For listeners of the show, Dipsy is offering an extended 30-day free trial when you go to dipsystories.com/nochaser. That's 30 days of full access for free when you go to DIPSEA stories.com/no chaser. DipsyStories.com/no chaser.
Like real early, like maybe first 100 people. So I go on, I'm like, hey, let's jump on this, let's put a post. So I was like, hey, what's up? I'm Ben Baller, you know, whoop. It's my man Nick Cannon, you know what? And then Tyler, the creator, goes on. And I mean, is this a family-friendly show? Can we cuss?
Nah,
Oh, yeah, do what you want.
So he's just like, you a F, you know, boy, you this, that, that. He goes, you a clown. But it was like 42, 50 comments in almost 20 minutes. Like he kept going.
Okay.
And then Nick's like, hey, he's like reading it in real time, right? He's like, hey, what's up, biatch? You should come on a while now. You go, shut your bitch ass up, punk. I'll slap the shit out of you.
Right.
And then Nick tried to be cool. And I've always done that. But the thing is, Nick, I was like, yo, bro, you have a show. You should know that they're just playing with you.
Right.
He goes, fuck that. Can't play like that. Blah, blah. Facebook is watching this shit, you know? And it was just funny.
Yeah.
And so I've just always been like that kind of, I've known Tyler since he was 16, right before, you know, the fame and stuff. So I just kind of always, your page would pop up on the Explore page because of like, might have been from Mac Miller, might have been from Danny Reel, I don't know.
Right.
And I was like, let me show this little Asian homie that I'm an OG in here.
You know what? That's the thing about it is I always understood that even though I didn't know you like that, I knew that was your sense. I was never salty about it.
No, never, bro.
Like I would read the comments, I'd be like,
yeah. Like if I didn't fuck with you, period.
Right.
Like for instance, like someone like 6ix9ine wanting to get some joy. Like I don't really like. That sounds fucked up, but like I look forward to telling people no now. Like I say no probably 98% of the time now than saying yes. But like boom, and it could be somebody fucking huge. I just don't have the time. One, I got 3 kids. I got 71 employees now. I don't really. So but the thing is, people are like, well, you find the time to troll on people. I'm like, I do this shit while I'm driving.
Right.
When I sitting there because I got 3 kids, young kids are very demanding. My wife is 11 years younger, so she can keep up. Like so, I'm like, struggling.
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to like, just talking shit and whatever, boom, if I didn't fuck with you genuinely, I think the people who've known me for a long time would know, oh man, like Ben's going on Tim's show. He was just saying this and this. They know that it's all like, if I was like, I don't fuck with, like there would be, okay, if I didn't fuck with you, there would be no sarcasm, jokes. It would be straight up, hey, check this out. I hope by 8:30 p.m. tonight, Tim dies. I hope everybody knows.
Shit.
Yeah, I would wish like very bad upon you. You feel me?
No, I got you. I understood the sense of humor. I get it. Or else I wouldn't have even been like,
yeah, no,
let's
come
comment
on,
each other's
man.
shit. You know what I'm
But
saying?
I think it was so overdue. There's people in the business, and I'm like, oh, it's cool to be Asian. Man, fuck out of here. I want to be real with y'all. Look, man, I'm 48, right? I'm almost 50, and think I've been in this game so long that my office was across the street here at Priority Records. I signed Jay-Z, first album deal, was working with Master P when he just got started. I was in the game, and I was always the only Asian person. And for 19 years, I never got invited to no Asian parties, no Asian American Excellence. And then they give me the Lifetime Achievement Award.
Yeah.
And I'm like, y'all invite me for 19. I'm like, I'll come and get the award. Boom. But
I was there that night.
Oh, you were?
Yeah.
Okay.
But but go on though, because I got a funny story also.
But like, I said my speech, and they're telling me, oh, you got 3 minutes, blah. I was like, no, fuck that. John Chu, director of Crazy Rich Asians, just did like, he fired me up.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, bro, I'm about to say some shit.
Yeah.
Like I played football, got a scholarship, but I was like, fuck that. So it's kind of cool to be Asian now, or like, don't. But I'm like a little bit opposite of what's going on right now because there's a lot of other shit that I don't like this narrative's going on. But recently I ran into Sung Kang, Han from Fast and the Furious, right? We have been in this city together for at least 2 decades. My brother worked on a movie with him way back before he was like big. And I ran him somewhere and we both looked at each other because we're the same age. And we're like, bro, I can't believe we done been in this town for this long in Hollywood. And it was weird. We gave a hug and talked for 2 hours. And I think that moment was like, you know what? Tim ain't just been here playing games. Like he's really been trying to do his thing. I remember when I said, I saw you another time too. And I was like, yo, you lost some weight. You look good. You're like, really? And I was like, yeah, bro. Like you was a little chubby, whatever. I mean, I'm way bigger now, but I'm saying like, I felt it was important that I nipped it in the butt first and there. Not that I'm scared of anybody, but like, look, let me give him some flowers real quick.
Mm-hmm.
And then let me say, look, it's time that we do connect somehow in some way because there's no reason for us to like even if, like we ain't got to be cool or nothing.
Yeah.
But it's important that 2 people that are in the game with yellow skin should at least try to embrace each other.
Definitely, man. And I appreciate that. And like I said, I was there that night when you received the award.
Right.
And I relate to you in the way that I always say that I feel like Asian Hollywood specifically like forgets that I'm Asian, because I never get invited to shit like that. You know what I'm saying? I will rarely get invited to those events. And there was one event specifically, and I've told this story before, but it was this organization that used to put together these shows to like highlight all the Asians that have been on TV and movies and shit, right?
Yeah.
And I was invited to the event, did the red carpet, and then they're like, all right, we're gonna show a highlight reel of all the Asians that have been on like TV and movies this year, right? I'm like, oh, it's like my 5th season on Wild 'N Out. I'm the only Asian on that show. Let's get it, right? I'm ready for my little clip. And I'm watching, and it's the most abstract, obscure fucking 2 lines in or something Asians on the screen. I'm like, cool. And my shit was nowhere to be seen, and I was salty, bro.
That shit was mad awkward.
Yeah, and I was like, I kind of sent a little subtweet out about it, like, it's crazy. They invited me to this event. They know who I am, but they didn't put me in their shit. They sent me an email like apologizing, like, oh, we at the next city event we put you in it. I'm like, oh, I appreciate that, but I was like, damn, they really. I feel like they just. I don't know if it's because I don't do like specifically like, hey, this is an Asian thing I'm doing, so they forget. But sometimes I definitely feel like I gotta remind them that I'm Asian.
That's where our parallel is then. I mean, I'm obviously Asian.
Yeah.
You look like you could be Pacific Islander, which is still the same thing, but I'm saying, because I mistook, I thought you were Filipino, right?
Yeah.
And then there's certain things, you look like you could be part Spanish, your last name has like 17 consonants in it, right? It's got like, so with that said, that year was December 2018, I think, right? Yeah, somewhere on there.
When you got the award.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So, it's almost 3 years now, and a lot has changed, right? I was already old then. I'm saying, but in my life, it's very rare that someone could have one successful career. If you ask for one successful career, you have to be grateful and gracious to God and the world, right? I've had 3 successful careers, right? And counting. So at that point, after that, I said, you know what? For me to be salty about anything is so disrespectful to what God has given me in general, that even when people do, let's say, for instance, like if I'm forgotten about whatever, I just like, yo, man, I don't need to be worried about what conversations I'm in anymore now. I mean, really at this point, because just in the last year with the pandemic, from my nieces, what they experienced, them having to be born and experience 9/11, then having experienced the recession, then experience the pandemic, and I'm like, yo, man, this shit's like awful that they grew up in this. Well, I'm glad I grew up how I grew up, because I got to see a lot of amazing things. And then also look at that, like, yeah, man, that ain't shit. Like, we gonna beat that. So what I'm getting at, man, is you'll get to a point, and look, I'm with you. I'm like, fuck a subtweet. I'm going straight in. Like, yo, hey, AAPI, Hollywood, blah, blah, whatever. Hey, look, check this out. I watch like each one of you guys, everyone with 117 members. Yeah, 117 members each to divide my salty nuts into your mouth. Like, I would say some shit like that and try to add all of them.
Right.
But look, people are like, yo, man, you really, one of my monikers when I say my podcast, I'm like, yo, this is Ben Baller, not Ben Humble. And people say all the time, like, yo, man, you drive that. I was like, bro, look, my name is Ben Baller, not Ben Humble. Like, I'm not telling y'all I'm humble. I've never been. When I was broke, I wasn't humble. Do you know? I've been Ben Baller since fucking 1992. Since spring of 1992. So it's like, I've been Ben Baller for 30 years. Like, and it was from balling, not from money. What I'm getting at now is where we are in the world today, man. Like, you would never think someone like me, people think that they're going to see me these days in big ass chains and certain things, whatever. I'm not saying I'm trying to be regular. I'm just trying to tone myself down because I'm already loud. If I'm in the elevator, someone could I could be chilling with Nikki and someone be like, yo, man, this motherfucker's tripping. I didn't even say shit.
Yeah.
That's just how it is with me, no matter what I do.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I've really worked in the last year to tone down the shit talking to still be there, but I mean like the complaining. Like, man, I wish man, that's messed up. They didn't mess. Or I'm just stop complaining.
Were you a complaining ass dude before?
Not complaining. I just was always like, I was.
You always had something to say.
Silky Johnson for real. Like, like I was like, what? Like, I'm gonna always find something fucked up to say. But in a comedy way, and at the same time, like if you was just undoubtedly dope, if you was MJ or something, whatever, then, you know, I'll be like, okay, fuck you. But, you know, I just felt like really even just last night, some guy was saying some crazy shit. He DM'd this page, and the page is like, yo, bro, this dude's trying to expose you, saying you owe money and this, and this. And I was like, okay. And I was like, man, this is the best fucking DM I could have ever got. I was like, yo, bro, here's my credit score, and here's the loan that I was just, look at, just make sure you highlight the price of the house that I'm looking at. And the guy's like, he's like, you know, I'm gonna block him. The guy's like, wait. Don't block the kid. This kid's probably, he has some mental issues. You know what I'm saying? Like something ain't right with the kid. You don't realize what kind of impact you have on this child, this person. He's still like 20 something years old, but he's like, you block him and it might really fuck him up. I never looked at it like that. I'm like, I'm blocking everyone, right? Like Cameron just would have made a post about blocking people, you know? Like he made a post that, let's say someone's like, oh man, Tim, your shirt is whack and that shit's corny. And then let's say, for instance, it gets like 300 likes on your own post.
Yeah.
Cameron says he blocks everyone that liked the hater comment.
I've been there.
Yeah, I've been there too. I'm just saying. I understood though at that point, they feel in some way that's how they could level up in any possible way. And I was like, yo, man, you know what? You just saved this dude from getting blocked. And he's like, yeah, man, like this dude really is striving for your attention. He follows you, you know, whatever. There's something just bothering him. It's fucked up times right now.
Yeah, I've always tried, man, you know what? I try to remind myself of that shit whenever I get some negative comments. Like, I used to be, honestly, younger me used to be in a better headspace where I could be like, you know what? If this person is going out of their way to talk some shit to me on my shit, they probably didn't get hugged as a child. Yeah. They got some other issues they got to deal with. If you really need to go out of your way to try and make someone else feel bad, then you probably got some other issues. I need to be showing love to this person, right? Yeah. But through the years, I was like, man, fuck this dude.
But it's warranted. You want to know why? Because, Tim, you have put in a lot of work, dog. And I've seen it from afar. Think of somebody who hasn't seen your podcast, who hasn't listened to whatever, boom, here and there, and you'll pop up here and there, and at the same time, you're still growing. It is like you went from 300,000 followers to 100. You know what I'm saying? Like you're growing at whatever rate it is. So it's like, hey, man, I'm not mad at you if you did. I'm not here to judge anybody. I'm just saying, like, we're here now. And it's long overdue that I guess me and you have had a talk, and if it's gonna be on the public, I'm not really tripping. You know, fuck it. It's man. I really try to wake up every day, be like, yo, man, life is generous. Life is good, very generous. I'm very happy about shit. Shit is fucked up in the world, and I do what I can. But at the same time, if I dwell down that too much, then now I ruin and affect my family and my kids.
Right.
And, hey, what's wrong? Boom. I just gotta really look at everything positive. You know.
Yeah. That shit will really like change things, because I used to do the same thing. Like I used to complain about shit, but I knew how to do it in a funny way, and that's what got people watching me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, what can I complain about now? And it just became like my thing. I had a whole series called Fix Your Shit, where I would pick different groups to tell them what they need to fix about their shit, just complaining. And then one day I was like, maybe I should stop this, because now it's just like my life. Now I'm complaining when there's no camera around and shit like that. And when I stopped, I got happier. Like, and I didn't even realize I was unhappy until I stopped that shit.
I remember that day, man. I was like, thank God. I can finally start hanging out with this dude again.
This nigga been complaining about everything.
You know, hey, let me say this. That's real, though.
Okay, now we all get a little queasy. We all get a little nauseous. Your jowls start to get filled up with saliva. You feel like you might puke. You get a little, oh, God, you don't know what's happening to your body. And everybody hates that feeling, right? Well, I bet you didn't know that it happens to 1 out of 3 Americans regularly. We get nauseous, you know what I'm saying? We out here, nausea's out here, okay? But I got good news for you, okay? You got to check out the Relief Band, okay? Relief Band is the #1 FDA-cleared anti-nausea wristband that has been clinically proven to quickly relieve and effectively prevent nausea and vomiting associated with motion sickness, anxiety, migraines, hangovers, morning sickness, chemotherapy, and so much more. Now, your boy gets hangovers, especially the older I get. I can't get too turned anymore without getting hanged over for like a day and a half. You know what I'm saying? It's a struggle out here. So that's why this product is perfect, right? And Chia gets migraines. So we both need this shit in our house, okay? The product is 100% drug-free, non-drowsy, and provides all-natural, long-lasting relief with 0 side effects for as long as needed. How it works is Relief Band stimulates a nerve in the wrist that travels to the part of the brain that controls nausea. Then it blocks the signal your brain is sending to your stomach telling you that you're sick. Wow. And if you know someone who deals with nausea, Relief Band makes a great gift, okay? And just for y'all, I got a special treat, okay? Relief Band has an exclusive offer just for No Chaser listeners. If you go to reliefband.com and use promo code NOCHASER, you'll receive 20% off, plus free shipping and a no questions asked 30-day money-back guarantee. I mean, what is there to lose? So head to RELIEFBAND.com and use your promo code NOCHASER for 20% off plus free shipping. RELIEFBAND.com.
I remember I remember having people, there's a difference too. You get to a certain point too, and I've gotten different like levels of turn up in my life where people will accept the bullshit that all my fucking flaws, everything. They're like, fuck, it's been balling, man. We gotta just, I'm like, no, you don't. Don't accept that shit. Demand better, bro. And but what I'm getting at is I remember those conversations. I know you're joking, but I'm being serious. Where my homies are like, man, we don't want Ben to come over tonight, dog. He's gonna sit here and talk shit, blah, blah, whatever this. And I'd be the toxic homie.
Yeah.
So like, you know, at a certain point, you know, like I get it. And then now, I really it's important that I have my wife is like probably my biggest, like, yo, you're being a fucking hater. You're being this. And if she don't, like, you know, then I have nobody, because if everyone's saying yes, bro, then, you know, shit, man.
Exactly.
Yeah. And he might not be joking, because I felt like that dude. Like, damn, did I have to say that right now?
No, I'm
it was
for
the
real,
vibe
yeah.
was cool, and then I just said some fucked up shit for no reason.
It's all good. I was a sad friend for a long time. They're like, bitch, stop posting your emotional ass shit.
Yeah.
Be happy. But yeah, actually, after my friends told me that, I was like, oh, I didn't even realize. I
But
was
it's
talking
good
to all
for
the
your-
sad people.
Especially for a girl.
Yeah.
Girls are more, I mean, okay, look, girls are more catty, blah, blah, whatever, but girls are always going to be more supportive to other girls in public, whatever, boom, in that image. Guys aren't going to, it's tough for them to be like, you know.
That comment actually came from a male friend of mine. It did. Because I got really cool people around me, and we talk
good.
about building a strong circle, because no matter what you do in any of your industries that you're in, you hit a certain level of success or you're trying to obtain it, then you need people that support you. So my friend was like, yeah, no, you're coming off really, really sad, and we're like kind of worried about you, but we know you're fun. So can you clean up your shit just a little bit?
Can you at least pretend
just
when we're
pretend
out?
to be happy?
Throwing off the vibe.
But it was good because I didn't even realize, because I didn't want people to think that I was having too much fun or too happy, and I was trying to attempt to be relatable.
Yeah. That shit.
And then in that sense, I realized I wasn't even being me. So naturally now I could put a balance of funny, sexy, sad, but I'm like, that's just me. It is what it is. But it's not forced to try to talk to any particular group
Bro,
of people.
that's a lot of kids now. The forced sad to be relatable.
Yeah.
Especially the ones who have good shit going on. It's like, I don't want you to think I'm not like you, so let me pull some sadness out of somewhere. Yeah.
But I think more than ever in my life, more than ever in the last 15 months, 16 months, whatever it may be, when it comes to being a father, I have never ever I've never wanted to be more relatable to, even though all my kids go to private school, so they're around privileged kids already. My oldest son has some health issues. There's some special needs I got to deal with and things, and I worry about that. But the most important thing is, every time I go somewhere and I underestimate, I hate this fucking word, right? But I underestimate my fame or popularity. For the couple schools that we've gone through, all the teachers have been young and they all know who I was. And so I kind of like, all right, why don't you talk about fucking Jeremy Renner's son or somebody else's? Like, there's a big there's actually a real celebrity that goes this, like, whose kids go here. Why y'all fuck with me? Because
no one likes Hawkeye, dog. But go ahead.
But, you know, so like, when my kids are like, you know, sit there and be like, hey, Dad, where's a Ferrari? I'm like, what Ferrari? You don't have a Ferrari. Like, what are you talking about? I was like, no, we got I've never ever tried to be more relatable and come and I didn't have a regular car for so many years. And it's like, we get in a minivan. My wife is like, I'm not driving that shit. You're tripping. And I'm like, I have to try to figure out something and just try to be, because if I don't, the kids already got everything in the fucking world, you know, and I've given them everything I can. They got passports, they have phones, they have all that. It's just at that point, it fucked my ears up. And people are like, yo, you earned it. I did. Nobody gave me the Ferrari. No one gave me the Lamborghini, Bentley Rolls, nothing like that, right? But guess what? it sounds fucked up coming out of a kid's mouth.
Right. And
Mhm.
it's so funny that you brought that up because we actually touched on this in a couple episodes ago, where I was talking about how, I feel like my drive is really fueled by the struggle I had growing up. You know what I'm saying? Like, main motivation was like, gotta take care of my family, gotta like repay my parents back, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, now, okay, money is cool. And I got this new baby. Do I wanna like almost not let her know how well off we are? You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like I don't want to raise a little annoying, spoiled ass, super privileged little kid. Like, at what point do I be like, all right, look, man, we need to teach you to appreciate some shit because you got everything.
How do you create the balance?
Well, a friend of mine, she's a financial advisor, so she's in that industry, and she came up and went through a lot of shit, and she has 2 kids, and we recently had to have a conversation. I want to say about a week ago, and she goes, "My son is turning into a little asshole," and I told her
that's tough to say.
But I told her, I said, "Friend, I love you, but we were at the country club, and your son was asking for avocado on his hamburger and wanted his California roll a certain way." And she goes, "I know." Because I looked at her, I said, "That's like," he was kind of upset.
Yeah.
And she didn't know how to handle it. But like you were saying, there comes a point to where you go, okay, we need to figure out how to balance this, because in that setting, he thought it was okay because that's how all the other kids talk.
How
right?
old is he?
He was, I want to say he was about like 8.
Shit,
But when I was around him, I looked at her and I looked at my friend. I said, "Ooh, friend, you're gonna have some problems with him later in life." And she said, "I know." And it really is a parenting decision. Like, you got to talk to your wife about that. You have to talk to your wife about that.
Well, no, my wife has been amazing. She's very, very, very good at what they, they'll wear whatever. It might be H&M, might be Zara here and there, boom. When my firstborn I have 3 kids. My first son was born. He had Gucci head to toe, everything. And then I realized, I was like, yo, man, he's going to shit in this thing and destroy it, boom.
Right.
Then he got older and certain people, I was like, you know what, man? This don't even matter. Then you get the coolest shoes. And everyone wants their kids to have, and then you think about it. Look, if you're a parent, one, lacing everyone's shoes is not cool. It's fucked up. So you're getting the shoes that are just comfortable and you're getting the easy things and certain stuff. So I don't have the problems there. It's they don't get how blessed they are to have a cook, have people cook things and have food. And my son has been to Philippines. He's been to Asia, seen the poor side and be like, wow, this is really bad. And recently we had to have it out. And I was like, wow, man. When I was 8, I was taking the bus. My parents left me at the house alone.
Right.
I'm in the streets in Koreatown, boom. So I grabbed my son. He's acting up. He's throwing a tantrum, going off. And I'm like, can you look at your bedroom, bro? Like, you have a 60-inch flat screen with you have Wii, PS5, you have a corner view of other celebrities' homes. You have a MacBook,
right?
You have an iMac, and you're on Zoom throwing tantrum. I was like, check this out. Took him down the street, under the bridge where the freeway passes, where all the homeless people were, and I got out of the car, and he's like, what's going on over here, Dad? What are you doing? I was like, look it. That dude is sleeping here. They're living here. Do you want to live here? He goes, no. And it shook the shit out of him. Now, I might have to have a couple more convos, but what I'm saying is he had to see that because he couldn't put it in perspective. I'm like, we have heat, we have AC, we have a pool, we have, this and this. And just gotta tell them, they gotta learn. I mean, again, how the fuck else they know?
Right.
Yeah, because that's gotta be tough because I don't have kids or money. But I would assume as some tough shit because like we worked this hard to give your kids what you didn't have or something like that.
Right.
Or the best. But when they grow up, starting with the best, how do they settle for less later, or how do they know that it's not always this?
And then you guys as parents don't have manuals, right? Like, you came up, so your parents didn't raise you in that same environment. So you guys are navigating this space on your own.
My wife came from a very privileged home, though. My wife came from, she came from a good home, and they came from a lot of love. Like, I got my ass whooped a lot, and she was able to like fuck things up, and no one got that. I was like, wow. And now I do realize, though, like, she could never do no wrong in front of her dad, right? So when I think about the situations that go on, every time I want to knock the kids out, we live in a different day now. One of my boys actually went and got arrested because he spanked his son.
Oh, shit.
And he was spanked his son and the funny thing was, the police officer that was booking him, they said, was like, man, bro, I like, it was a black man. He was like, this the way you're supposed to raise your black child. You know, like this was fucked up. And I was hit way worse than that. But what I'm getting at is the love that my wife grew up in the home with, that shit made me a little envious because I didn't have that love in the house. And I'm not dissing my mom or nothing, but like the rest of the situation there was kind of fucked up. So you do realize how much it could affect you 30, 40 years later, right? So now with the kids, you know, you do got to address it. My son would never say like, hey man, look, I want to, but at the same time, like if he did, I'd let it go. But it sounds like this kid be ordering that on a regular.
No. That's why I told my friend.
Yeah.
We had to, as her friend, we looked at each other and I said, yeah, don't bring him, like, don't do that. But
Like,
don't do that
created a
around.
monster.
Yeah, you're enabling a lot of
There
things.
it is. I'm sorry. The word enabling.
Enabling. Yeah, but
So-
she at least was aware enough to understand that she's gonna have to put that kid in the real world one day.
Yeah.
And he gonna get his ass beat from someone else for
Ordering
acting.
avocado.
No, but it's just, but there's
no,
a,
you
but
know
there's,
the way she
no,
said,
but,
like-
but there was a list of things. I was like, first off, my friend, I'm like, we're in a bunch of different worlds. It's just not always the country club.
Right.
Babe,
Yeah.
we got to go into other spaces.
Yeah.
At least teach him how to interact and to be at least like, first off, don't disrespect your mother in front of your auntie. That's what I said first off. I said, you better watch how you talk to your mom around me because
Yeah.
I don't like the tone that had happened. But she also said, she's like, I'm really, because of how she was raised. And she's trying to find a balancing act. And also with her husband, they have to have conversations because he was raised to where he never did any wrong. And it's just really like a learning curve. Not everybody can figure it out. And parents don't get enough credit for trying to do what's best for them and also trying to raise, like, y'all trying to raise some functioning human beings.
No, look.
It's a
people-
balancing act.
People, they crack me up when they say, oh, I'm a mommy of 2 dogs and da-da-da-da-da. Look, my wife had 4 dogs and whatever. Cool, let's check this out. Shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear shit from PETA, from nobody. And they've tweeted me, boom, whatever. My wife's been a vegetarian and vegan for almost 18 years, whatever, boom. Stop all that shit. When you ain't got to worry about what a pet, dog, cat, mouse, whatever the fuck it is, you ain't got to worry about they're going to be in society, how they're going to be looked at as in the world, carrying your name, legacy, whatever, boom. You know, so like it's a different thing when you bring a child in the world. And plus on top of that, your kids didn't ask to be here, you know what I mean? So you might as well just do, you know, your responsibility. Let me ask you, if you don't mind me asking you, right? Were you a mommy's boy or a daddy's girl or
Daddy's
mom's
girl.
Okay, you're a daddy's girl. Fuck, man. All right. So you know, like with me, my girl, I think when I had the son, all right, cool. Had the second son, all right. We weren't about to have this third baby because my wife is a lot younger. So, you know, I'm like, I'm about to have a baby. I'm about to have a daughter at 44. Like, man, this ain't happening. She's like, we have to have a daughter. I was like, no, I don't know. As soon as my daughter was born, my life changed because now, one, I have done nothing but disrespect women almost all my life. I have been a piece of shit to almost every girl besides my wife. And I'm like, wow, man. Like, I looked at things differently. I was kinder to the world. I was kinder in general on certain things. Now, also, no one's going to ever tell me that I can't kiss my daughter on the lips or I can't do certain things. Like, look, she is going to be spoiled. And if y'all got a problem with it, too bad. The boys, I got to kind of like, you know, like show. But I want her to understand, look, I'm going to take care of you. I don't want no dude coming in here, some bum trying to knock on the door. So your dad must have been like, oh, I'm ready for this.
And I'm my dad's best friend. And my dad tells me all the time, he made me with a purpose. Like, he wanted to have me. And my mom always says, your dad trapped me. So my mama was like, I didn't even like your dad. He just wouldn't leave me alone. And my
Just
dad,
pull out.
no.
oh, shit.
No, for real. My mom was like, just to let you know, I didn't even want to be with your father. And we have you and you're here. But I'm the oldest. I'm the oldest. And my mom wanted a son for the reason why my dad wanted a daughter. I am my dad's best friend. I love my dad. And they both showed me a lot. Like, even when it came to relationships, they're like, I'm putting the standard here. My dad cooks. My dad cleans. My dad was a stay-at-home father. He took me to all my sporting events. We were broke. He cooked and catered all the events that I went to. I played since I was like 6 years old. And he sacrificed. My mom was able to go work. And my dad took me to every game. I didn't get my license till I was 18. And so my relationship with my dad is really how I see a lot of things. But he went through a lot of struggles.
But he set a bar, right?
Very high.
Okay, yeah.
Very,
So
very
like,
high.
you know, I'm not letting some,
Right.
like, I can't wait for that. Because my nieces, you know what, they were raised really, really well. They're in college now and whatever. And my niece is 19. She FaceTimed me last night at her college and everything. They're one of the schools that really got the coronavirus under control. And part of me is like, fuck, man. I hope she out there just really, no, but at the same time, you can't control nobody. But like, she showed me pictures of her dorm room door, and like people were like, "Yo, your uncle's your uncle's a legend," blah blah whatever. And I'm like, cool. I try to send her some things and have fun, but I don't want like. Man, I'd be damned if I got to go over there and whoop someone's ass. You know what I mean?
How old are your kids?
My kids are my 8.5, almost 9, 7, and almost 4.
Oh, word. Yeah, man. I mean, people always told me, I mean, similar to you, that I was gonna have nothing but daughters because of the player's curse.
Yeah.
And then sure enough, I have my first daughter, and and I'm hyped. I want her to be a little daddy's girl. Right now, she all with mom because of the breastfeeding and all that.
That's normal.
But once we get her on this bottle, boy, she about to love me.
Yeah.
You have a kid with someone you can't fuck with.
Oh, my parents are still together. Side note. They talk shit to each other. They should have broken up a long time ago.
They hate each other, but they love each other.
They hate each other, but they can't be with nobody else. So side note, my parents are still together.
Right.
Nah, me and wifey
Psychos.
are a good team. Yeah.
That's
It's a
good,
blessing,
man.
yeah.
I'm congratulations, by the way. That's great. I look at life so different with everything now. Like I haven't been out in a club in so long, and I lived in clubs. I was a nightclub DJ. You know, I was a big DJ in Hollywood. I was going out all the time and everything, and like I just can't stand being fucking out. Because number one, I think I've just heard enough small talk in my life. And again, another thing too is I think I've gotten to a level of I hate saying the word. I mean, I've gotten a level of worth to or wealth where I really can pick and choose what I want to do. You know, if it's simple, it ain't hurting nobody, and it's cool, it ain't like boom, there ain't no fact. Because I hate when you get involved with a sponsor. And so man, that guy don't like Asian people. He said this, that, this person don't like Jewish people. Man, shut the fuck up, man. Like it's always some shit. Like I just seen some shit the other day where this girl was saying some racist shit about Asians. And I almost felt bad for old girl because they pulled that shit out from 9 years ago. I'm like, bruh, man, you know what if her life has changed 700,000 degrees since that 9 years ago? And she even she lost her job at Vogue or whatever. And I'm like, man, bro, like, cause I mean, when I got my TV show, my agent deleted 35,000 tweets.
Good Lord.
And he said, seriously, all the time, he goes, bro, you wouldn't just be canceled, you would be fucked up because of shit that you said. I'm like, bro, that's just what it was back in the day.
I mean, we were literally just talking about that. How, I mean, 10 years ago, people were tweeting. Tweeting was different back then.
Yes.
You were
Like
saying
The internet was different.
on purpose. Everybody knew that this person is just trying to shock right now.
Yeah.
It wasn't nobody
not
thinking
even
shit
just
was
that.
serious.
Like you'd be like, man, shut your bitch Mexican ass up. Like, oh, why you gotta be Mexican? But because he's fucking Mexican.
Right.
And it would be like shit like that. You can't even justify nothing anymore. Everything is the easiest way to misunderstand somebody is via tweet, text, comment. You can't, ain't no context and you can't tell.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, one time, speaking of that, one time someone, it wasn't a whole lot of people. One person got salty at me because I was like, man, just got me some fruit from the Mexican fruit cart. I'm hype. And they was like, why you gotta say Mexican? I'm like, cause they're Mexican,
Yeah,
bro.
That's the truth,
what
bro.
you mean?
What are you talking about?
But why is that important? Why can't you just say fruit cart? Come on, man.
Because Rick, representation.
That's how they felt about it. Some people feel like, hey, he said a word that I feel like I'm supposed to be mad at. Can I get mad at this? Yeah. Okay, I'm mad at it. Yeah, you
But
said
too
Mexican.
many people are mad on the internet, and too many people don't even know why they're mad.
No, that's facts.
I really do mean that, though. I said, you don't even know why you're mad. And I tell people that all the time. Look, I truly don't give a fuck about someone trying to come cancel me. It's just, at this point, yeah, like, dog.
35,000 tweets. That's a lot of tweets, bro.
Yeah,
He was talking a lot
how
of
about
shit.
this? Ready for this? This was like in 2011, bro.
Yeah.
Twitter was out for 2 years.
Yeah. 3 years.
busy.
Barely 3 years. It was just, I was talking shit. I was drinking beer in the shower. Like, I would just tweet just random ass shit.
Yeah.
But
Right. I
But
mean,
thank God they did. You know, there was some other shit too. I got into it with like during the Blue Lives Matter versus Black. And I said some shit. I was like, listen, how about fuck all the police? And then police officers were kind of like, yo, this stupid. Then they were saying threats from all. I was like, man, fuck all. And then people were scared that worked for me. And I was like, man, god damn. I wish some of y'all would just, not everyone is tough though. You know, not everyone has thick skin and not even, you know, like some people put a tough act up and they can't keep it up and then they break down and then you feel bad about it because, you know, you dealt with it a different way. And
have you ever had anybody come at you sideways in public?
not really.
For
I kind of almost, how do I say this? I think
people
energy.
want to punch you when they meet you.
I think that they be scared too, just because of the fact that I think people put two and twos together, and they're like, this guy had a store next to Nipsey Hussle in Slauson. Ben Baller was in South Central for I don't know how many years. He's in a black motorcycle gang. I've never heard a story ever of him being robbed, and he's a jeweler. Something ain't adding up. So maybe we're not going to find out why that is. And I think sometimes my wife is like wondering, she's like, I know you want that guy to fuck with you so you can shoot him. And that's really, really fucked up because you really should go see somebody.
Right.
And I'm like, we get an issue in the car. I'm like, it's going to happen today.
Please.
Thank God. I said, all I want to do is go to the door and I'm going to fucking shoot him in the foot. And my wife be like, really, man, I can't believe I married you. You're such a fucking bad person. You know?
Hey, bro, I know a lot of therapists.
So, it's just, I think that people sometimes, but they've been diffused, like I just, and the thing now too is I get sued a lot, but from the things, and I'm like, God damn, I'm getting sued for a tweet. I'm getting sued, and it's expensive. You know what I mean? It could cost 60 grand, some stupid shit. So obviously, when someone's baiting me at a game, I got kicked out of a Niners game not that long ago, like right before the pandemic. And I remember I was like, holy shit, like this is going to end up being a problem. Yeah. And our boy's like, I'm glad you calmed down because you know what? That motherfucker wanted you to do something so he could sue you.
Mm-hmm.
And he had everyone watching.
Right.
And I was like, damn, man, you're right. So.
I mean, yeah, that's the thing, right? It's like a lot of people really, they just trying to get a rise out of you for that. Or even like like going back to the YouTube comments, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes they just want you to reply on in a tweet or whatever just so they can be like, man, one time I just had a regular exchange with somebody. We disagreed on some shit, right? So I was going back and forth saying, actually it's this and this and that. And then like, I want to say probably like fucking years later, I saw somebody just say my name in a tweet and they were like, yeah, nah, my biggest interaction with a celebrity is when me and Timothy De La Ghetto argued on Twitter. I'm like, bruh, we didn't have no fucking argument.
Yeah, man, people say shit all the time. You know what I noticed? I used to have, what's crazy is A$AP Rocky, right? I own a company with him. And he has Google alerts. So anytime the actual name A$AP Rocky comes out, boom, and he'll go through them at a certain point, because I don't think he doesn't read comments. Never, right? That motherfucker will get 100,000 comments to this day. Not have an album out, done whatever, boom. And so like, one day I was like, yo, man, I'm gonna do that shit. And I was like, bro, I turn all them fucking alerts off, bro. I was like, Ben Ball is a fucking fag. Ben Ball is a bitch. I'll smack the shit out of him. But I was like, man, I can't look at this shit no more.
Right.
It's like the worst thing to look at, And then there's obviously the good ones, like, all right, cool. I just, man,
So what would you say? I mean, because obviously through this conversation, you've kind of mentioned how like a lot of shit's changed for you over the years, right? You've been in the game a really long time. Your mindset has changed in a lot of ways. You don't talk as much shit as you used to. What's like the main thing? What was like the turning point for you? Like,
to be honest with you, it's crazy, right? So like, I kind of was popular before the internet. I got a scholarship playing football, being Asian, right? This is in fucking 1991. Then I left college, came here, was in the music business. And, worked with Ice Cube, the guys I idolized, right? Tupac, people like that. I was interacting with these people, and I was a DJ. So I always say I was who I was before social media, before MySpace, before any of that shit. And then things kind of like turned up. I became a jeweler in 2005. And my career started taking off, boom, it turned up here. In 2017, I had went all my life. All my homies that were rich, famous, everything, I've gone all my life without having security. I've gone all my life without none of that stuff. And then the fucking A$AP Ferg Plain Jane song, Ben Ball Did the Chain song came out. And it wasn't just in everywhere. It was in China Club. It was everywhere. That song was in there's not a place I can't think of. I heard it everywhere, you know? That song turned up. I trademarked the term Ben Ball Did the Chain. And I've created a brand off it and became successful. And at that point right then and there, I realized, wow, just the simple shit. Before the pandemic, I can't go to fucking Target with my kids anymore. And like, I can't go to Cheesecake Factory at the Americana and just try to be relatable. I got people touching my shoulder. I'd be like, hey bro, look, I'm eating with my family. I know this, I'm sounding rude. Now, I'm the bad guy, right?
Right.
I'm with my wife and my 3 kids, about to have a meal, about to eat. They're like fussing over whatever. You tap me on the shoulder. Why are you touching me, bro? Like, why can you just, but at the same time, like, so like, it just gotten to that point now. And then like, it just got worse and worse as the years gone by, So I think that was when things changed. And I say, hey, look, I need to not go so hard and I need to reverse that now. Like, my podcast has nothing to do with jewelry. It's about behind the baller. It's what's called. So it's the business guy, it's the father, it's the husband, it's the dude who's been able to turn different businesses into certain things, and everything but jewelry. You know, because every time you meet somebody, if you're a comedian, hey man, tell me a joke, you know, blah, blah, whatever. If you're a jeweler, hey man, make me a chain. And it's like, fuck. But it's like everyone, you know, someone even cool like SZA, you know, it's like, and I made her a chain, but it's like, hey, you know, I'm gonna get this and this. And I'm like, fuck, man. I mean, I'd rather you guys just say like, you know, the score of a Laker game or something. Like, you don't have to talk about a chain. But at the same time, I get that's who I am. But like, there's so much more depth than that.
Right.
So when people recently have heard these conversations, people are like, why the fuck was Ben with Jay-Z and hosting the 20th anniversary of Reasonable Doubt?
Right.
Like he was the A&R. Like, no, the jeweler Ben Baller. Like, how many fucking Ben Ballers you know that are Asian? Like, he was in the music business. Like, what? No, he wasn't. That's cap. And everyone doesn't want to believe nothing and boom. So, you know, I just felt like in the last few years, so imagine how fucked up I really was, right? That I've gotten softer with the earth and I don't throw like litter out the window and I really do try to be a more decent person just because my kids are paying attention. Me and my wife got in a pretty bad argument one time at a dinner table.
Mm-hmm.
And my son started crying. No, just at home.
Right.
My son started crying. He goes, stop fighting. I'm like, no, we're not fighting. It was like, you know, just like it was an argument, but like I didn't want, I was like, wow, this is going to fuck people up. So I just think overall, I needed more woosah in me, you know what I mean? And just that, I think the podcast mostly, don't get me wrong, I get my shit talking in, right? For people who are definitely 100% well-deserving of it. But that's when it really changed to a point. Also, I hit it big in crypto. So when I hit it big in crypto, I think a lot of people did the math on it. And the part of it was funny was that I made a lot of money in crypto, but had me and my cousin not let go of what we had, we were one of the first stores ever in Shopify history. We were either number one or number two to accept Bitcoin 8 years ago or something, right? Some kid came in, he was 19 at the time, his dad had died, he got some money, and I said, hey man, you need to chill the fuck out and relax. While I try to get in the conversation, he sure told me, because he made $100 million off of Bitcoin before the bubble. The bubble's now, you know what I'm saying? He made it before that when it crashed the first time around. So me and my cousin, we own 1,200 coins each. And yeah, you know, so that's, you know, what is this? 600 million? I forgot what it was, but my cousin still won't let it go. And I'm like, bro, your life is insane. Kids got $50,000 each, tuition, school, the penthouse, you got the guest house, you got the fucking vacation crib. Like, you can't. I jumped back in the game a year ago, and I talked about it. And I had a specialist, Pomp. He's like the evangelist of Bitcoin, of crypto, and I jumped back in it. And in order to avoid capital gains, I put the entire real estate sale into crypto, and it was worked out. Boom. And then it went, and I was like, you know, I mean, what am I going to do? Like, it was going to sit in the bank. I would have gained 30 grand, 50 grand. I mean, who knows? It wouldn't have been anything crazy. The cash under the mattress, so typical that shit's not going to do shit either. In one fucking year, you know, shit turned into fucking almost $40 million. You know what I mean? So at that point now, you wake up on a daily basis from January to now, and you're like, yo, dude, the world is a fucked up place. Like, why is it a fucked up place? Because bro, like, you know, I just seen some dudes I know that were kind of YouTube influencers, and I think they have 100,000 subscribers. So they're not eating like that yet. And I've seen Fousey go through his shit, right? But they had, you know, 4 roommates in like a nice place up the street, you know, where all the dudes live, right? And they got 4 roommates. You see pizza boxes everywhere, random girls doing whatever they can and have all the fucking, just every possible cliche shit. These motherfuckers want a private jet going to Hawaii, bro. For those of you who don't know, you know, a round trip to Hawaii is going to be 60 bands, 70 bands, and legit. And I'm like, yo, you got semi-broke motherfuckers on jets now. And immediately I knew what it was. And I hit dude. I was like, hey, what's up, bro? He's like, hey, what's up, man? I want to get a check. I was like, no, stop that. All this. What's going on? And he goes, oh, man, I got into the GameStop, Robinhood, Bitcoin, this, and this. And I was like, of course you did. So when I wake up and I think about this digital money and the decentralized market, I think about where we are now. I already had an amazing year last year in the pandemic, which is, I mean, I earned it. Fuck everyone that got a problem with this. 30 years of grind, and I worked at Burger King for $375 an hour. I worked shitty jobs. I know what it's like to be broke and have, you know, to make money in a terrible environment. To see it now and see people who work so hard, a gardener, a person on the side of the freeway, a Mexican fruit stand person. Just imagine if that person that is really saving maybe $3 or $4 grand and it's been just sitting there for years, right? Imagine if that person bought Bitcoin at 30 cents, even at $200. Imagine what they could have done for their lives, right?
What, fool? I never doubted you with the Bitcoin.
I didn't say you doubted me, but I'm just saying, I'm making eye contact.
She just be talking about this shit too much. That's all. Look, I believe you.
But no, look. So I was talking about it because it's the same thing. It was during that time in March when everything was going down, and I would bring it up to the guys, and it was to the point to where I was sending them updates. So I only look at them because I was like, I've been talking about this with y'all for a minute, but it's not that they don't understand. They do. That's why he laughs, because he's like, man, I know, but I was talking to him a lot.
This is the best part about it, okay? The best part about it is this. When you look at anybody who really understands financial literacy, it's not too late to get in the game. There's so many crypto coins that are out there. The thing is this. If you don't want to get, like, really, how do I say this, well-versed in all crypto, you're going to have a terrible century. You're not going to have a terrible year. You're going to have a terrible future. If you don't understand that that's where it's going, then kiss the game goodbye, because your money's not going to, look, if you own real estate, I will say, look, for the most part, depending on where you are, it is safe, okay? If you own certain things. But because Biden just pumped 1.9 trillion into the debt again now, our dollar's going down as we speak. So when Lil Baby and Future, all them holding big stacks of cash, bro, that cash is damn near, not what it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
So people have to start getting hip in it. It's scary too, because there's no insurance. At least banks have FDIC, but it's a point where, look, ETH is the most accepted crypto. When you look at any NFT, Ethereum is accepted everywhere. It's pretty much the default way to payment. So you look at where 6 months ago, that's not a long time ago, bro. That's November, right? You know what I'm saying? Or October, right? In October, Ethereum was 150. This shit's 1,700 today, bro. So imagine if you put, 100 grand, which people are like, oh, it's a lot of money, boom. But there's people who have 30, 40, 50, whatever. But if you put 100 grand, that's like $2.3 million. You can't get that from a real estate investment. You can't get that for certain things.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, Ethereum is just going to get bigger and bigger. So really, for it to hit 10 grand is not far-fetched.
Right.
So I'm with YG the other day, and he's like, hey, man, blah, blah. I'm like, look, YG, you have a great clothing brand. You have albums. You've been doing good. Do you have any money in crypto? He's like, bro, it's crazy you said that shit. Like, I finally do. And I'm like, fucking YG even does. I'm not even saying that in a derogatory way. If he sees us, says, fuck you, man, for saying it the way that way. I'm just saying he a real hood dude. He really from the hood. And he understood, you know what? Let me at least, what's 200 grand? I don't get a Benz. Let me put that into this. Bro, you doing a great thing for your daughter and for your future. And check this out. You drop some NFTs, you will have more crypto wealth. Keep that shit in circulation, because your bank account ain't going to do it, bro. Do you know? And I just didn't understand that until fairly recently. It had to hit me 3 or 4 times in the head.
And they are going to start coming out with certain banking systems are actually going to have insurance. There's new programs coming out that they'll insure your crypto if you go through them. But you know how
it's
all
going to
that
eventually come. I'm just saying right now.
They're starting to do that, which is another conversation.
What's even crazy, I just found out today. From my guy in Dubai who's balling out of control, is a billionaire. He's like, bro, there's going to be crypto ATMs very, very soon, in a few months. And I'm like, this shit done got crazy.
You can buy it at Safeway, actually. You can start buying in some Safeways. They have to where you can exchange your change into Bitcoin or Ethereum, depending on what they hold. But and cards. And,
That's crazy. Some dude was trying to pitch that as an app on Shark Tank, and nobody bought it.
Wow.
So now it's at Safeway there.
I mean, if you think about the people who hated on things, one of the most interesting stories was the CEO of FedEx. And I heard about this 20 years ago. CEO of FedEx went to Harvard for his college thesis. His college thesis, which is your final test for you to graduate, was FedEx. And the professor at Harvard failed him. Didn't give him a D, C, gave him an F. He goes, you're stupid, try to go against U.S. Mail. Like, bro, he didn't crush U.S. Mail so many years ago, right? Like, and you think about the people that did hate on you, whatever. But then there's people who, hey, man, don't ever give up on your dreams. And you got to do this 45 years old. It's like, yo, I'm about to put my first album out. Like, no, bro, that's not it. Like, you have to somewhere find, be coherent and kind of be like, all right, let me feel the vibes, man.
Definitely. You got to feel the vibes. You got to evolve. And appreciate you dropping some gems on us today.
No, man.
You also
yeah.
brought us gifts. Where they at?
Oh yeah, man. No, it wasn't nothing like deep like that. It was just some cool stuff that I have like merch, you know what I'm saying? But it was like useful merch. Like for instance, I have this 80% sanitizer you can keep in your pocket or keep in a purse.
Sweet.
And it smells amazing.
Okay.
Dope.
And it works. It's 80%, so it's like, really good. That was like one thing.
Thank you.
I had like lighters. I had Ben Bar did the chain, real Sharpies. I did a collaboration with Sharpie and just like Post-its and just again, man, just like cool stuff, you know.
I was gonna bring you some shit from our line, but we forgot. But
Oh,
when I go on your shit, I got you.
No, for sure.
Well, shit, man. Like,
Oh shit. Sorry
I
about that.
appreciate you pulling up. Definitely pull up to yours. You know what I'm saying? We'll have another conversation. And anything else you want to shout out before we get out of here?
No, man. I'm just really glad that we got to have an organic conversation that wasn't forced. You didn't ask me about whose chains I'm making or whatever. Boom. I'm just glad that we had. So I'm being real. Like I'm glad that we got to 2 Asian people. Or I'm sorry. How about 4 people of color?
Yes.
Got to sit here and have an in-depth conversation about parenting and society and misconceptions and misunderstandings and just it was look, I had a really good time just talking about that, man.
I'm glad we got to squash the beef. I'm saying that so I can be like, title, me and Ben Baller beef.
Hey, you know what? That's a good title though, bro. You should say that.
Me and Ben Baller address our beef. All right, y'all. Thank you for tuning in once again to the No Chaser podcast. We appreciate you. We love you. I'm Tim Chantarangsu.
I'm Ricky Shucks.
I'm Nikki Blades.
Bye.